Veteran White House correspondent Helen Thomas coming under heavy criticism for comments she made at the White House. Listen.
Any comments on Israel? We're asking everybody today. Any comments
Tell them
on
to
Israel?
get the hell out of Palestine.
Ooh. Any better comments?
Well, our next guest thinks that Helen Thomas should be fired for those comments. Former White House Press Secretary Ari Fleischer. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
All right, so you just say, look, this is cut and dry. It's black and white. She should be gone.
It is. This goes beyond all boundaries. This is not your usual ideological difference that everybody has a free speech right to. And I look at this as an employer matter. Who would want an employee who espouses what is tantamount to religious cleansing to work for them?
Sure. Sad finale to a career that was truly distinguished and trailblazing in many ways, but it should have ended. It was time.
The biggest outrage is that the Hitler in a girdle, Hitler's wife in a girdle, Helen Thomas, had the nerve to say, and I'll play it for you again, that Jews should get the hell out of Palestine and go back to Germany and Poland. This is exactly the same rhetoric that was used during Hitler's era in Germany, and that old piece of crap, that old piece of garbage in a girdle should be thrown out of the White House press corps.
Helen Thomas has retired. She wasn't asked to leave. No, she retired after letting us know how she really felt about Israel and them Jews. I've told you on this program before, the old hatred is going to come back. The fact is, it always does.
You know, we have the N-word. Everybody knows what that is. And then we added the F word to that, F referring to gays, right? So no, that's out. Okay, so that's the F word. And apparently we're adding a new thing to our lexicon now, the R word. The R word cannot be said. Anybody know what it is? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, I'm going to say it for the last time now, only for the purpose of edification, because I don't think anyone knows what it is. And then from then on, I will be banned from saying it as part of political correctness. Retarded. Okay? The word is retarded. Okay, it is not, that's it. Officially banned. From now on, we denounce and reject anyone who uses it. Why is this a controversy now? Because Rahm Emanuel used it as a slur against liberals. He called liberals in a meeting effing retarded. Okay. All right. Already we have a violation. I denounce and reject myself. Okay. I meant the R word. So, who's all over him for this, and why is he in trouble? Because I was all over him for this, and the Wall Street Journal even wrote an article about it, saying, you know, Rahm Emanuel does not represent progressive interests, etc. But why is he in actual trouble? Because progressives in this country can't get anybody in trouble, can't get anybody's attention. Nobody pays attention to them. So, no, it's Sarah Palin. She's on the warpath. And she says that he is being unbelievably insensitive, indecent, and should immediately be fired. So every media organization in the country has written a story about it today.
Howard Kurtz. Good morning, Mr. Kurtz.
Good morning, Mr. Ramos.
How are you?
I'm good. My goal this morning is not to pull a Sanchez. After what happened to Rick Sanchez, I don't want to say anything that's not kosher.
You know, I wonder who fired him at CNN. I hope it was somebody who, in fact, was Jewish.
Well, look, Jews may control the media, but we ain't stupid, so I'm going to be real careful. But also, what guy gets fired on his book tour? He's out promoting this book called Conventional Idiocy, and then he calls Jon Stewart a bigot, which was weird, and then he went off on his rant about Jews. And, you know, look, Sanchez has always been a guy who does wacky stuff. I mean, I remember, you know, I thought he shouldn't have been fired. He should have been suspended and tased. Remember when they pumped his body full of 50,000 volts of electricity? And if you do that, you're going to get made fun of. You're going to be fodder for the likes of Jon Stewart, and it has nothing to do with being Cuban-American.
I think Jon Stewart's a bigot. I'm telling you that everybody who runs CNN is a lot like Stewart. And a lot of people who run all the other networks are a lot like Stewart. And to imply that somehow they, the people in this country who are Jewish, are an oppressed minority? Yeah.
The talk of Washington and much of the country today. Fox News contributor Juan Williams has been fired from his job as news analyst at National Public Radio. NPR says it made the move because of Williams' remarks on another Fox program.
I mean, look, Bill, I'm not a bigot. You know the kind of books I've written about the civil rights movement in this country. But when I get on a plane, I got to tell you, if I see people who are in Muslim garb and I think, they're identifying themselves first and foremost as Muslims, I get worried. I get nervous.
But Donnie Deutsch, you saw it. Juan Williams comes on. He expresses the concern that a lot of Americans have, an irrational concern, but a concern about Muslims. But he does that to set it up in a way to tell Bill O'Reilly, we've got to get past our prejudices, and we don't want to paint...
And our own personal weaknesses.
Our weaknesses. We don't want to paint the entire Muslim faith with a broad stroke, and... he got fired.
I know Juan Williams. I worked with him when he was at the Washington Post and the White House. You mean he has been fired for saying something? That is preposterous. I mean, this political correctness, Joe, is far more of a problem than what Bill O'Reilly says or anybody else says, that people are being fired simply for expressing their views in an argument. And those views, quite frankly, it is not irrational to be nervous after 9/11 if you see some conspicuous Muslim fellas get in the first-class section of a plane, as I have.